Hello, everyone. Say anything to anybody?
Hello. I have posted videos on Gonzalo before. If you don't know, he has been illegally arrested in the Ukraine, and the United States government is doing nothing to help him. And as U.S. citizens, it's our responsibility to stand up and say this is unacceptable. And I did a whole video on this, so I'm not going to go into it again. But in that video, I said I would eventually go through and post the conversations that I had with Gonzalo.
Hey, David, how's it going?
Gonzalo, how are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. What's on your mind, man? How are things
Not
going?
much. Yeah, good, good. Every day's a great day.
That's a good
As
word.
I said, estoy
that's a good way to-
respirando. Estoy respirando.
Respirando. Respirando.
Respirando.
Yeah, but anyway, what's on your mind, man?
Well, I'd never heard of this man before, but I thought of you when the video came up. A guy named Kevin Samuels came up in my feed.
He dropped dead.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Suddenly, yeah.
Yeah. He was with some woman and had a heart attack.
Yeah, and I think he was relatively young, but I don't know this.
53. Oh, I actually wrote a book as well, just for shits and giggles. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What's it about? It's about a transition in life where the short answer, it's about the money system and
non-fiction or fiction.
Well, they say that this is what I read. You can tell me if it's true because you're an author. They say every author's first book is a biography of some sort.
An autobiography.
Autobiography, right. And so there's a lot of my thoughts and experiences in the book, but I disguised it as a fiction because I heard somebody say one time, you can say a lot more in a fictional book than you can in nonfiction, and people won't get as upset.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you, as a professional writer, that your first book, no matter how highly you might think of it, is probably shit. Okay, I'm not saying this in a mean-spirited way. I'm telling you the truth. Every author has the same experience. Okay, and some authors who are unlucky enough to get their first book published, later they cringe. Okay, it's your second and third book. Okay, that's when you're going to hit your stride. Okay, so if you finished a book, I mean, how many words was it?
It's 300 pages.
Yeah, okay, that's a substantial piece of work. You finished it. Good on you.
Yeah.
My suggestion would be, focus on the second and then the third. I mean, if you want to pursue a career in publishing, your first book is going to be shit. Okay, I mean, it's inevitable. I'm not putting you down specifically. Okay, I mean,
no, I don't.
Everybody.
It's like anything in life. You're going to have people who like chocolate and people who like strawberry. I mean, I'm not offended by those things.
No, but it's something that empirically, it's like we were talking before with Alex about James Joyce, right? His actual first novel was a novel called Stephen Hero, and after he died, it was actually published. It's garbage. Okay, I mean, and now you know why James Joyce didn't want to have it published, because it was garbage. Okay, it was rejected by a whole bunch of people. Nobody wanted to publish it for good reason. Okay, because it really was garbage.
Right.
Okay, and
the family got the cash grab.
Yeah, his heirs, but the thing is, see, it's perfectly normal. Okay, nobody hits a home run first time at bat. Nobody. Okay, and so you should take it as the experience that, okay, I finished a book. Okay.
Oh, that's exactly. I look at it as it's like when I ran my first marathon. I had no idea what I was doing, and I was happy just to finish.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's the same way I approach the book.
Yeah, there are very few people who can finish a marathon. Okay, and I bet you the second and third marathons were a lot easier.
They were,
right? Yeah,
they were, because you knew what to expect.
Yeah, there are very few guys who can write a full book, a full-length book of 300 odd pages. That's very difficult. Few people can do that. Okay, and so you have to think of it like a marathon. Okay, your first marathon, you finished it in what, 5 hours or something, or 4 hours, or the case?
Yeah, it was right around 5 hours, and the second one I think was 3 hours and 49 minutes.
Wow, that's really good. That's really good.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah,
see
I was cruising.
But you see the improvement.
Yeah, and then I've only run 3. So
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the third one, was your time even better than the second?
No, I had no intention of ever running a third one. But what happened is a friend of mine said, hey, Dave, anybody can train for a marathon and run it. But how many people can wake up the day of the race and run it? And I said,
oh, God.
Is this a challenge? What are we doing here? Yeah, I'm challenging you. I said, all right, let's do it. So the day before the race, he calls me and says, I'm not coming. This is crazy. I'm like, you son of a gun. I'm already here. And so another friend of mine ran it. And I ran 3. This was the Boston Marathon. It's in April. And in that whole year, I'd run like 3 miles. And so him and I were jogging up to the starting line. And I'm like, and I look over. He looks at me. He goes, you want to do this? I said, no, but we're going to do it. Jesus. And and that one, I think it took me 4 hours. I think just over 4 hours.
Yeah, but it was much better than the first time.
Much better, because the first time, like you said, with anything, it's like anything in life. Knowing what to expect, it counts for so much. It counts for so much.
Exactly.
It's kind of like where you've talked to Brian Berletic and a few others. That's why when you've had military training before, and I've been in the military, besides your nightmares, I mean, with a few weeks, a few months of training, you're back.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not physically, but mentally, you're back.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's the same thing with life. And as far as writing, to be quite honest with you, I've never had a goal of being a writer. It was just something. It was something where I always wanted to do it. And I was out on the beach one day walking, and I had an epiphany. And I said, it came to me. I finally, whether this is true or not, this was my epiphany. I said, I now realize how these guys write these books, because I would read authors and I'd be like, it's amazing how much detail they can put into their writing and how they describe things so well. And it came to me, I said, what they do is they go there, they look at something and they write what they see.
Yeah.
And it becomes a heck of a lot easier when you do it that way.
Yeah. Exactly.
Than trying to come up. And that's what I did. And that's why a lot of the first book is about Mexico.
Exactly. Yeah, because it's what you know.
So Mexico and China.
If you're thinking of doing it seriously or trying again, then now you know what to expect.
Yeah, well, I did start writing a second book, and I think the second book is actually I've had this idea for a couple of years, and I think it's an excellent idea. The problem is I'm nobody, and for me to sit down and spend 5 hours a day, even an hour a day, it's kind of like it feels like a waste of time, to be honest with you, because if you were going to put all your time and energy into something, you have to ask yourself why you're doing it. And
yeah, but you have to ask yourself the same question: why did you run 3 marathons? It's a waste of time.
Well, I was young and stupid. What can I say? It's
I mean, you can say to yourself, well, you're older and stupid, so why not? I mean, no, honestly, if you have the time.
Well, that's it.
I mean, if you have the time and you really don't have anything better to do, I mean, something that is actually valuable and that will produce you money or something that you want to achieve, why not? I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. And also, you mentioned that you've been thinking of an idea for a couple of years. That's always a good sign, because you've had a lot of chance to sort of like chew it over. And you'd be surprised how much your unconscious has come up with various ideas that once you start writing, they'll start like flowing very naturally. So I would say, well, if you don't have anything better to do, why not? I mean, look, you can play video games, which is a complete waste of time, or watch some of the shitty movies that they're producing nowadays, or you can spend your time doing this. And at least you'll have something to show for it at the end of it, and not say, oh yeah, I saved my game where I got to like level 12 of killing zombies or some shit like that. I mean, actually something worthwhile,
Well, as somebody who's not a 30-year-old guy anymore, I mean, I ended up, when I was going through a couple of years trying to figure out how I was going to transition, I came up with a definitive list, very simple list of how I wanted to live the rest of my life. And number one for me was great weather, because for me, I'm serious. I found, and everybody's different. For me, I found that weather had a direct impact on my psyche, my mood.
Yeah,
absolutely. And that's why, and so I have to get outside every day and walk and be outside. And that to me is the most important thing I can do. And when you're outside doing those things, then obviously it's quote unquote a waste of time. But
yeah.
Okay, I see the other guy coming on board. So have a great day. Hope you feel better.
Thank you so much, David. I really appreciate it. It's good seeing you. Take care.
You too. Cheers.
Bye.
Live long and prosper.